This is eCommerce Uncensored. Brought to you by Fast Forward Unlimited. We're coming to you fully loaded and exposed with all the strategies and techniques for growing your e-commerce business.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of eCommerce Uncensored. This is episode number 90. My name is Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso and Paul Chu.
I got caught up there for a minute. I forgot what I was going to say.
We're almost at 100.
Yeah, almost.
At 100. And we've turned on the juice the last few months.
Shit's turning up, man. We got Albert here. Albert's on the sidelines. He's going to be on our podcast hopefully
Next week. Soon.
in the next couple weeks. He's going to be helping us with our social media and pushing out content and helping me edit so I don't feel like I'm going crazy.
Our downloads, man. Like I was away these past few days, and Kevin like texts me like, "Oh my god, I gotta look at all these downloads we got." I'm not gonna tell you guys a number, but he's like, "Look at all these downloads," and like he's like, getting really excited about this, and it is exciting because, as you guys know, for 2 years, the podcast was pretty much flat, and now it's like, I don't know if people are picking us up or if more people are starting stores. I don't really know what it is, but really it's pretty amazing to see. It's booming.
And it just goes to show that you just continue to do it and you continue to put out, valuable content to your audience.
And
It'll come.
It's a consistency.
You can't force it, and there's no like magic wand that's going to just like say, okay, everyone's going to buy your shit. You got to continue it. You got to be patient, and we've talked about patience in the past. You just got to keep it going, and I'm glad we did because we almost quit several times.
Yeah.
Now we're coming up on 100, which is wild.
Which is awesome.
Which I think is almost going to be like right at the end of the year, maybe. I guess, right?
Probably.
It's going to be close to the end of the year.
I don't know.
No, it'll be before that.
Before that. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, really. Do you, Kevin? Your
Yes.
Name is
Hi.
Kevin?
We're recording the podcast. Pay attention.
Right. So today what we're going to do is, we've really, for the last 2 years, Kev, you know this, we've really struggled to find ways to communicate with our audience because it's a freaking weird platform, You have a blog, people leave comments. You have a YouTube channel, people leave comments. You have email, they write you back. This is like, you guys are listening to it, whether it's in your car or you're at the doctor's office or whatever. It's a very hard thing to communicate back and forth with your audience. And we've really tried really hard to do that. So we created a Facebook group where you can kind of, and it's kind of growing, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. Go to ecommerceuncensored.com/email/Facebook, and it will redirect you right to our group. But this group we're interacting with people, and what we do is we kind of stalk some of them. Kevin has signed up for some of their newsletters.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to talk about one of our 5 email keys. And what that is the one that we're going to talk about is email consistency. Like how often or how many times you send out a specific offer. Now, if you don't have a lot of sales, if you don't have a lot of activity, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, and I think that it really goes back to the podcast, the discussion we were just talking about, how we just were consistent with our content and we kept it going even though our audience was small. And it translates back to your email. It can be, your email. You don't know when people are going to interact with an email or open an email or click on an email, just like we don't know when you guys are going to listen. So that the frequency that we increase our podcast, the more likely we are to get in front of someone.
And people have different behaviors. But before we get into that, as always, we're going to talk about our favorite email marketing platform, which is Klaviyo. Klaviyo. And what I'm doing, by the way, is if you are in our Facebook group, I'm going to be creating a video that walks you through one of our larger clients' Klaviyo accounts, and I'm going to show you how many emails I send out for a specific campaign. Now, I think some of you guys are going to be surprised at how often I send out an email, or we send out emails for our clients, because Kevin, as I said, signed up for a few of our listeners' email lists, and he's gotten like one email.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months ago I signed up, and I got I didn't even get like a welcome email, which I found shocking considering it was a listener of ours. And then I think there was a holiday that came up and I got one offer email. So that's kind of one of the things that's prompted us to kind of talk about this.
Yeah. And Klaviyo, what I really like about it is the control it gives you, the data that you can send your emails, or the data you can use to send out your emails. Like it's all behavioral based. So somebody does this, send them this email. Somebody goes here, send them that email. If they buy this and they buy that, send them this email. And it's just like awesome what you can do. And we're really having, they are a sponsor of this podcast, and we're really having a lot of success with them. So I get emails every day from people saying, hey, I signed up for Klaviyo through your link. And if you guys are looking for a better platform, more powerful platform, go to eCommerceUncensored.com/Klaviyo. Sign up for a free account, and they will give us credit for it, and we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. And even if you're not looking.
Well, if you're not looking, I mean, look,
check it out.
Look, if you're using MailChimp or one of these other things, just leave it alone. Go to Klaviyo. Like, enough is enough. Stop playing games with this other crap. Go to Klaviyo. It's awesome. It will make you money. eCommerceUncensored.com/Klaviyo. Now, I'm sorry, /email.
You're screwing up the links.
You're
today,
messing
man.
up the back.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be having people go all over the place.
Yeah.
I'll have to set up that redirect now. Just
eCommerce, because you won't sleep if you.
I won't.
eCommerceUncensored.com.
You know me so well.
I know. /email. And go do that now. So, email consistency. It's a hard concept to, I think, grasp, because a lot of our clients do this, right? Like they send out an email and they're like, hey, I sent it out to 43,000 people. Why am I going to send it out again? And like, okay, let's back up. You sent it out to 43,000 people, but what is your open rate?
Mm-hmm.
If it's good, 20%.
Yeah.
Or great, it's 20%.
Great is 20%.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's good, it's 10 to 15%. So let's call it 80% of your list didn't see the email that you sent, right? So, we get that all the time. Like, I don't want to annoy people. Like, dude, trust me. Most people are not looking at your friggin' emails.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no one cares that much about you.
No. And once you get that through your head, it'll make it much easier. Not to switch gears here, but I was listening to a podcast this morning on the way to the studio. A guy named Ben Settle, who I've been following him for a while. He's a copywriter. He's really good at it. And he talks about, he's like, I don't know why people care so much about unsolicited advice. It's like, you write a blog post, you're so worried about what people are going to like it? Let me see. Let them comment. He's like, I don't understand why people do that. He's like, who gives a crap what they think?
Right.
Right? Like, if you're doing something that could help them, and they don't get it, too bad. That's their...
And if they don't like it, go away.
Right.
You don't want them anyway if they're bothered by it.
Exactly. And, I think as business owners, we're always begging people to buy our stuff, begging people to like our stuff. Look, the truth is most people are not going to like it. Most people are not going to buy it. It's the people who are going to buy it that you're trying to appeal to. Those are the kind of people that you are trying to get, to buy and then buy again and then tell their friends and all that other crap.
Well, buying is one thing, and I think you have to kind of shift your mindset a little bit when you have a store nowadays. Instead of capturing an email address to just sell them shit over and over again, you need to build relationships with people and not just constantly send them or just wait till that moment where you're going to have a sale or send them something in a sale. Build that relationship, get to know them, send them valuable information that your product revolves around and things like this. It's not just about selling when it comes to email relationships.
No, and if you don't have sales, right? If you're a new store, you don't have anybody buying your stuff, build a list. Spend money, invest in building an email list of people who may want your stuff. Send them emails. What I used to do is, I'd say, okay, I'm going to spend, I don't want to say most people have a budget because some people don't, but I would always say look, I'm going to spend $500, $300, $200, whatever you can afford. and I'm going to target people with ads, whether it's Facebook or Google or Instagram or whatever the hell you want to use. Target these people, get people who are interested in your product on your email list, and then don't buy any more ads. But then, get 1,000 people, 500 people on your list, and then just test. Send them emails. See what they respond to. See what they engage with. When you're figuring that out, you'll get it. You'll see how they want to be spoken to, what they want to, see or read or hear or whatever. And then once you figure that out, you can go out and create more ads and get more people in. It's so funny that when I was teaching way back, I was teaching an Etsy course, and I used to tell people, look, so much easier to sell to people on your email list than it is to sell to them off of Facebook, or to sell to them off of Google, or sell to them off of YouTube or whatever. Get them on your email list. Send them emails that they may be interested in. Talk about problems that they have that your product solves, right? Talk about golf all the time. I have a problem with, golf balls. Okay, I lose them. I need new ones, whatever. Show me how I can solve that problem. Put a GPS in a golf ball and never lose a golf ball again. Whatever. Come up with tips and tricks. I know it's so cliche, but tips and things that help help use your product as a solution to their problem.
Paul, I think that you're kind of like a brand guy, and I feel like you engage with brands like that. And I'm sure that you're involved in some of their email lists that, you signed up for them along the way, or maybe you bought something and it's not time for you to buy yet. I'm sure there's some brands like that.
No,
for you.
Timing's big with me, because you're right. I'm pretty loyal when it comes to certain brands that I like and that I purchase from. And not even consistency, but the timing of their emails. Where if they send me one in the morning, and if I'm just busy or I'm late and I'm driving in the car, I'll delete it, or I'll just read it, and then it'll be read, so I won't see it again, and I'll never go back to it. But if they send it to me at the right time at night, when I'm like, you know what, let me go browse for something. Maybe I could buy another shirt or some more shoes. Boom, that's all it takes.
Yeah, and
so switching up, I guess, when they send emails is good.
And that's when consistency, right? Maybe 20% of the people open up in the morning. The other 80% open at night or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll always send out emails at different times, testing which day, or what time and day people, are responding to. And it's never the same, right? Maybe you have an older crowd who does everything in the morning and they're not going to work. They're retired. So they do everything in the morning, right? By the time, it's nighttime, they're not interested in that kind of stuff. But in the morning, they're fresh, they're ready to go. Maybe it's a younger crowd like Paul or like Albert, where they do everything at night, right? They sleep late. They're running in their car. They're, whatever. I mean, people have different behaviors, and sending them an email in the morning, and then maybe the next day at 12 o'clock, and then maybe the next day at night, switching this up.
Well, that's why the behavioral part of these email platforms is so important, because think about if you noticed Paul, a person like Paul or Paul's avatar is opening. He just said he opened the email, but he didn't do anything. He just saw it in his car. Why not take that person, see that they opened it but didn't interact with your email or didn't click on it, send them another one 12 hours later, because that 12-hour time spot wasn't right for them. They're ready 12 hours later. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And in Klaviyo, or mostly all other email providers, they allow you, actually I don't want to say all, but I know Klaviyo does. Mm-hmm. You can send an email in the subscriber's time zone. So let's say I want to send an email at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. for me is not 6 a.m. for California. Yeah. It's not 6 a.m. for Russia. It's not 6 a.m. So you can do send the email out at 6 a.m. at the recipient's time zone, right? It's there's a lot of these little things that you can test. And, if you're starting a new store, or if you have a store already and you're struggling to get sales, the trick really is to use email, get people on your email list, and then just email the hell out of them. I mean, if they're not buying from you, they're costing you money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right?
It's I compare it to a store. If you had a brick and mortar store and you just opened up fresh, a customer comes in, you're going to welcome them when they come in, right?
Right.
They've been browsing for 15 minutes. Maybe you walk up to them and you say, hi again, or can I help you with something? Can I help you find something? Then they're on their way out and they didn't buy anything. Oh, how can I help you, with your purchase today or something? That's the kind of relationship you need to build. Obviously, you're not going to do it every 15 minutes, but spread that out a little bit of a longer period of time. But you have that same kind of relationship being built when someone signs up for your email address. It's just like going into your store for the first time.
Your email list.
Well, signing
up for your email list, not your email address.
Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, and it's, I'm actually teaching one of our clients like the whole frequency thing, like, and I'm like showing her like, look, just make a copy of the ad and then just send it out again. Make a copy of the ad, send it out again. You can send it only to the people who didn't open. Change the subject line, right? Because subject lines will change how people, interact with the email. Change the subject line, change the date. Maybe put in there, like what I like to do a lot is I love sending out an email, because this is one thing that is interesting. Is like you send out an email, people buy, and then we're like, okay, I don't want to send the email to them again, so let me only send it to people who didn't buy or didn't open. Why?
Yeah, that's silly.
Right. What I like to do is I'll put in there like offer ending, even if you've taken advantage of this offer. There's no limit. Like you could buy again.
You do it
those
again.
people are hot. They're ready to go.
Those people want to buy.
Or a whole new email that's for that. A lot of times I'll buy something and they're like, oh, thanks for your purchase. Here's $15 off your next one. I'm like, should I just buy immediately again or hold it off for another month? That really
I just bought
over.
glasses. Same thing. $360 Oakleys with like prescription. Like they were like, I think they were $500. And like my first order, they gave me like 30% off or whatever it was, whatever that math works out to be. So I log into my account. I'm like waiting for it to like ship, whatever. And like the stupid thing at the top is like $50 off. And I'm like, do I need a second one? I mean, $500, $50. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
And there's all these little tricks and, things that you can do to get people to either buy again or buy for the first time. And, hitting them at different points is really, the trick.
I for some reason got into Anchor's email. You know what Anchor is?
Yeah.
It's that
the
podcasting where it just does everything for you. You record right on, I don't know if you record on your phone or what, but I somehow got connected. They got my email somehow, but they went through a series of emails. I probably got like 10 emails over the last 10 days, like one a day. And then today I didn't interact with them at all, but they kept hitting me at different points of the day. And then today I finally got an email like, I guess Anchor's not a good fit for you. We're going to get rid of you. Like pretty much telling me that they're taking me off their email list.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Because they don't want me clogging up their communication.
Well, they're also psychologically
well, that was
trying to get
you
to engage, I guess.
Which kind of worked.
Well,
because I didn't click on any of their shit, but it made me think, I guess in my mindset, it made me think like, this is a good strategy.
Well, like, first of all, if they really meant it, why would they tell you? Just do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take you off my list. Exactly. Like, I don't have to threaten you. Just take me off.
But they were speaking to me in more of on a personal level. Like I keep saying, like they wanted to build a relationship with me. They were trying to build a relationship with me. And I think people are so afraid of bothering people, which is why they don't send out emails more frequently. But if you change your thinking on it and just make it into a relationship building exercise, I think it'll make more sense.
Well, look. If they knew who you were, they don't want to.
I could see the look on his face.
You walked right into that one.
Could you not see the look on his face that he was like clearing up to like wait to say something about it? I could see it in his eyes.
They don't know who they're sending it to, and if they had any idea, that trust me, they would stop the first time.
I knew it. Such a jerk.
Anyway, but you're right. I often look. There are really some catchy people out there, like really smart people, like sending out really cool emails, and that's really an example of one. Even like people who send these emails are like, "Hey, I want to take you out to lunch. Hey, we're gonna buy you lunch. Hey, we're gonna buy your whole team lunch. Hey, get creative.
Yeah.
Do like one thing that I think that people need to do more of is like stop listening to people. Like there is no right way
except
to
us, though, right?
No. Like don't even listen to us. Like
that's a new one.
No, but I said this in one of our previous podcasts, or I talked to somebody where like my biggest fear with this podcast is that people take what we say and instead of using it as a guide, use it like it's like
the end all be all
right
solution.
And it's not. Like what we're talking about is like a starting point. And then there are some like things you should do, but then experiment. Like every audience is different. You know, everybody's different. Everybody responds differently. Everybody wants to buy differently. So you got to figure that out. I mean, there are things that you should do. There are best practices. But if somebody tells you like, hey, don't annoy people. You know, you should only send one email a week. Screw them. Look, the more emails you send, the more money you're going to make. It's just that simple. Mm-hmm. Now, the email has to be good. It has to be persuasive. There are all these other little things that have to happen. And again, I'm going to create a video for our Facebook group showing you guys how often I send emails. If you're not part of that, you should get there. eCommerceUncensored.com/Facebook. Got that one right.
Nice.
And join our group because the video is going to be in there. I'm going to actually show you the numbers.
That means now you have to do it. You understand that, right?
I had it set up on my desk, but you guys took my...
Oh, now it can't get done.
Right, exactly.
No, it'll be up there.
It'll be up there. So, yeah.
And one other thing. Ask questions. Ask your audience questions. We talked about this morning. We had a little meeting, and we were talking about like kind of our product that we have going on here. When in doubt, ask your audience what they want or who they are. Gather as much information about them so you can tailor information to them at a later time. So that's kind of where
and
we're
these
at.
behavioral type email platforms do exactly that, right? Like, oh, Johnny went to this page and Christina went to that page and Mikey went to this page. And if they go to this page and this page but not check out, maybe send them this email. If they, there's all these different combinations that you can do. And if you have an email platform that can handle that kind of stuff, then your life will be much easier. You can make more money. And look, I know that everybody wants to change the world with their product, but if that was your only goal, you could just give it away for free, right? Like, oh, I want to change the world. Okay, then just give it away. Then don't charge for it. Well, obviously, you need to make money to be able to produce the product, to be able to sell the product, to be able to do all that other stuff. So it's all about making money.
So do these platforms that are behavioral or like the behavioral elements that you're talking about, does it get as specific as like based off what your product is and what you sell, when you should, like recommendations for when you should send them? Because I'm just thinking like even what you were saying about, I'm younger, so I'm up later and maybe I'm searching and browsing to buy stuff online late. But if you're like selling a cooking thing, maybe you should send it like right before dinner time. If it's something that has to do with a weekend, you're like an event venue or something related to that, like you want to send it on Friday night, like, oh, quick, buy it, you can get it shipped for your Sunday brunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's interesting you say that because when I used to have the baking blog, Sunday was like the worst day to send an email. I don't know if it's because people already had the recipes that they were going to bake. I don't know if that day they were running around. I don't know what the deal was, but Sunday was the worst. It was even worse than Friday night. It was worse than Saturday night. Sunday was the absolute worst time to send an email. Now, I can't explain why. I have no idea. But, definitely time.
Yeah, I mean, some of the more advanced platforms, yes, they use all that data, and you can kind of sift through the data. And we talked about it a couple episodes ago about using that kind of data to predict when your audience is going to open certain emails. Like for you could be segmented in a group of people who open at nighttime, or you could totally do that.
There's also, the platform will also tell you when the best time to send emails is. Like depending on when people open them and when people engage and buy.
Right.
There's just so much stuff to do. And, frequency, getting back to the original topic here, that worked well.
Yeah.
It did, right? I hit the mic. It didn't make any noise.
Yeah.
Frequency is something I think that a lot of people overlook because they're scared to bother people. Look, just to have people on your email list, if they don't buy from you, they're costing you money. They're not making you money. So tell them to get the hell out.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Go. You don't want to buy anything from me, then unsubscribe. See you later. So.
All
right. I got a video coming.
Yes.
eCommerceUncensored.com/Facebook. Join our group. Watch the video. eCommerceUncensored.com/email. Sign up for a free Klaviyo account. Shoot me an email if you sign up. I don't know if I'm going to do 2 free flows.
1 flow. Make it 1.
No, it's not. The flows aren't hard. It's just like if you're new and you don't have any sales, I'm not really helping you.
Yeah.
But I will, if you need me to look at the website. One of our listeners just asked me, hey, could you just take a look at my website and give me some ideas?
We get a lot of that too. And I think that's helpful. I mean, even to just ask, can you take a look at my account and see, take a look at it and not necessarily put together a flow. If you don't have any sales yet, you really can't do it. Right. So
exactly.
I don't know. We'll help you guys out. Email Jason with your questions about anything with the platform. We'd love to help
now
you
guys should feel very special because I tell Kevin not to email me.
Yeah, that's why I sit right next to you and I could just tell you.
Right, exactly.
But that's what did we say? Did we get the emails out already? Did we give the URLs out already?
Yes.
eCommerceUncensored.com/email to sign up for Klaviyo, a free trial up to 250 subscribers. Join our Facebook group at eCommerceUncensored.com/Facebook. And I think that's it. Did we cover it?
See you on episode 91.
Yeah, this has been episode 90. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can check us out at eCommerceUncensored.com, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later. Bye-bye.
See ya.